Profound autism. Profound autism involves severe intellectual disability and an almost total absence of verbal language. The person needs 24-hour support for every basic activity. Genetic conditions or early brain damage usually cause it. The senses are processed in a fragmented and overwhelming way. A loud noise triggers inconsolable crying. Communication is reduced to basic gestures or crying. Imagine someone who does not recognize their name, does not point to objects nor imitate gestures. They eat, wash, and sleep only with direct physical help. They do not engage in symbolic play or understand that a toy represents something real. They walk on tiptoes or flap their hands for minutes on end. They avoid eye contact as if it hurts. They prefer objects that spin or make repetitive noises. Living like this means complete dependence on others. Even so, they respond to caresses, music, or lights with genuine and spontaneous smiles. They find pleasure in soft textures or running water. Caregivers learn to read micro-expressions that go unnoticed. A timely diaper change prevents major crises. The daily routine becomes an art of anticipation. Many develop intense sensory preferences that guide their day. Their world is pure sensory present. A firm hug is worth more than 1,000 words. There is no abstract past or future, only now. They respond to the rhythm of a song, even if they do not understand the lyrics. Joy arises spontaneously from predictable stimuli. Severe autism. Severe autism shows minimal language, often echolalia or repeated phrases without meaning. It requires constant supervision and intensive intervention programs. Self-injurious or aggressive behaviors appear frequently. Understanding of danger is null or partial. Transitions trigger major crises. They need pictograms for basic communication. Think of a child who repeats entire television commercials but does not ask for water when thirsty. They cross the street without looking because they do not understand the danger. They rock for hours or line up toys in perfect rows. They bang objects against the wall to calm themselves. They eat only foods of a certain color or texture. They reject clothing with tags that rub against the skin. Frustration dominates their day. They bang their head against the wall when something is moved. But a visual schedule reduces chaos and brings visible calm. They learn to point to pictures to ask for food. They celebrate small achievements with intense clapping. Therapists use immediate reinforcements to shape behavior. Patience is measured in infinite repetitions. Sometimes a single caregiver understands their secret code of sounds. That creates a bond stronger than any conversation. They share moments of laughter over shared stimuli. The connection transcends verbal language. Up to this point are the cases that demand total support. Now we enter levels where independence emerges, though with clear limits. Moderate autism. Moderate autism allows short, functional phrases and learning of basic skills. It needs structured support at home, school, and in the community. Restricted interests occupy most of the time. Social understanding is literal and rigid. Metaphors confuse completely. They need prior rehearsals for new situations. Visualize a teenager who recites train schedules from memory but forgets to brush their teeth without a reminder. They work in a sheltered workshop counting pieces with absolute precision. They organize tools by size and color without error. They follow step-by-step instructions but do not improvise. They prefer solitary tasks to group interactions. They always greet in the same way even if the context changes. Routine is their oxygen. An unexpected change triggers anxiety crises that last hours. However, they master repetitive tasks better than anyone. They find errors that others overlook. Their attention to detail saves entire processes. Peers learn to respect their sensory space. They use earplugs for annoying noises. The irony is that they teach patience to those around them. Their exactness forces the world to be clearer. They demonstrate that difference is not a defect, just another operating system. Mild autism. Mild autism presents fluent language, but unilateral and awkward conversations.
They achieve secondary studies with support and simple employment. Social difficulties persist throughout life. Reading facial expressions requires conscious effort. Inside jokes are missed. They need scripts for basic interactions. Recreate the scene of someone explaining for 20 minutes how a video game works without noticing that the other person fell asleep. They arrive on time always, but do not catch sarcasm or hints. They respond literally to rhetorical questions. They collect useless data that they use at unexpected moments. They speak in passionate monologues about specific topics. They listen to music with headphones to regulate emotions. Loneliness lurks even when surrounded by people. They want friends, but do not know how to initiate or maintain contact. Even so, their loyalty is unwavering when someone crosses the barrier. They remember personal details that others forget. They offer practical help without asking for anything. Their honesty refreshes in a world of false diplomacy. Their mind is an alphabetically ordered file. Ask them any fact and they respond instantly. They find patterns in conversations that others ignore. Classic Asperger syndrome. Classic Asperger syndrome offers average or superior intelligence with encyclopedic interests. They speak like an adult from childhood and detect patterns invisible to others. Cognitive empathy exists, but effective empathy fails. Others' emotions are analyzed logically, their own overwhelm without a channel. They need rigid routines to function. Imagine an 8-year-old child correcting the history teacher with exact dates. They collect minerals and know the chemical composition of each one. During recess, they play alone because group games seem illogical to them. They read entire encyclopedias for fun. They write complex essays without effort. They ignore implicit social norms. They feel intense emotions but do not express them conventionally. They cry watching animal documentaries, but do not comfort a crying friend. Their brutal honesty hurts unintentionally. They say truths that others avoid. They prefer animals to people for their predictability. They find calm in numbers and systems. The curious thing is that they invent solutions that others cannot even imagine. Their obsession becomes a professional superpower. They change industries with lateral ideas. We have now left behind the levels that need obvious support. Next come variants where autism disguises itself as successful eccentricity. High-functioning autism. High-functioning autism combines high IQ with learned social skills. They work in specialized technical or creative professions. Intimate relationships remain the great challenge. Sensory overload requires daily strategies. They use social masks that drain energy. They need solitary recovery. Think of a software engineer who writes impeccable code for 12 hours straight. They win awards, but forget their partner's birthday. They use mental scripts to greet and say goodbye. They analyze conversations like equations. They detect bugs that entire teams miss. They optimize processes with surgical precision. Sensory overload forces them to wear headphones all day. At home, they recover energy in absolute silence. But their work ethic inspires entire teams. They share knowledge without ego. They solve impossible problems under pressure. Their laser focus achieves extraordinary results. Sometimes they joke that neurotypicals are the weird ones, and they are partly right. Their logic cuts through social noise. Savant autism. Savant autism exhibits a prodigious island skill amid general limitations. Photographic memory, instant mental calculation, or artistic talent emerge without teaching. Only 10% of autistics develop this variant. The brain compensates deficits with focal hyperdevelopment. Damaged areas contrast with extreme peaks. It requires a protective environment. Visualize someone who reproduces an entire symphony on the piano after hearing it once. They do not maintain conversation, but draw perfect perspectives of entire cities. Televisions interview them as a phenomenon. They calculate 6-digit square roots in seconds. They recreate mental maps with photographic detail. Their talent eclipses the rest of their life. They always eat the same thing, live with parents at 40, but their work travels through museums around the world. It inspires movies and documentaries. It demonstrates extreme brain plasticity. Scientists study their brain seeking clues. Nature compensates in mysterious ways. It gives them a gift that the rest only dream of. It turns limitation into legacy. Transcendent autism. Transcendent autism integrates a unique perception of the world with historical contributions. Figures like Newton, Einstein, or Tesla showed clear traits. They see connections that others do not intuit. The mind operates on multiple levels simultaneously. They ignore mundane distractions. They need isolation to create. Recreate the image of a physicist who solves equations while walking in circles for hours. They ignore social conventions but change scientific paradigms. They eat rotten apples because they do not notice the difference.
They eat rotten apples because they do not notice the difference. They live in rich inner worlds. They communicate complex ideas in silence. Their genius requires eccentricity. Their mind operates in parallel dimensions. Human norms seem unnecessary noise to them. However, their discoveries benefit all humanity. They invent technologies that transform societies. They write theories that last centuries. Their legacy transcends their life. The fascinating thing is that they do not seek fame. They just need to understand the universe in their own way. History vindicates them late. From profound autism that requires total support to transcendent autism that redefines reality, these are the 8 main types. The question is not where you fit, but how you use your unique characteristics to grow. The spectrum does not measure value, it measures difference. Soon, I will publish more maps of human behavior. Subscribe if you want to see them.